Hey there everybody, it's me Wolf and I wanted to welcome you back to this week's advanced lesson. In this week's lesson, we're going to be talking about using English when you're going to a restaurant. So let's just hop right into it. In this week's lesson, we're going to talk about everything you need to know about going to a restaurant, from when you enter until when you leave. The first thing we're going to talk about is booking a table. So you can either do this in person or over the phone. So you can ask, do you have any free tables? Or, can I make a reservation? Usually they'll ask you, how many are at your table? Or, how many are in your party? Your party means your group of people you're going to the restaurant with. Then you'll say, can I get a table for the amount of people? So can I get a table for 3 people? Or I have a party of 3. So you'll say a party of and then the amount of people in your group. And then you have to tell them at what time you're going to be going there. So you'll say the day and then the time. So for example, this evening at 7 o'clock or this evening at 8 o'clock. Or you can say it for a different day. So for example, tomorrow at 7 p.m. or tomorrow at 8 p.m. or this Thursday at 7 o'clock or this Thursday at 8 o'clock. So you have to always say the day, at, and then the time. So usually they'll ask you if you're walking in during a busy time, do you have a reservation? And then you can tell them at this time, yes, I do have a reservation. Now let's say you don't have a reservation and you go in and they ask you, do you have a reservation? You'll just say, no, I don't. Do you have a table for the amount of people? Open. So do you have a table for 3 people? Open. So usually after you sit down, the waiter will bring you glasses of water and then they'll take your drink orders. So they'll ask you, what can I get you guys to drink? Or what can I get you started out with? And then you'll tell them, can I have a, and then the drink. So can I have a Coke? Can I have a tea? Can I have a white wine? Can I have a, and then what drink you'd like. So while the waiter is going to get your drinks, you'll have time to look at the menu and decide what you'd like. Once the server brings you back your drinks, at that time, usually they'll ask you, are you guys ready to order? And if you're ready to order, you can say yes, and then they'll start taking your order. If not, you can say, actually, can I have a few more minutes, please? You can also ask the following questions. Do you have any specials today? What's the soup of the day? What's the fish of the day? What do you recommend? Or if you don't really understand what a certain dish is, you can ask, oh, what's this dish? Or what comes with this dish? Or what's in this dish? And point to whatever dish you're talking about. Also, if you have any allergies, this is a good time to tell your waiter, I'm allergic to what? So like, I'm allergic to nuts. I'm allergic to shellfish. I'm allergic to, what are you allergic to? Also, if you have any dietary restrictions, so for example, if you don't eat pork or shellfish or meat, you can tell your server, I don't eat, and then what you don't eat. So I don't eat pork, pig meat. I don't eat shellfish. I don't eat meat. Once you decide on what you're going to eat, you're going to say, I'll have the, and then the name of the dish. So I'll have the spaghetti. I'll have the steak. I'll have the chicken. So maybe the thing that you're trying to order isn't on the menu. If it's not on the menu, they'll tell you, I'm sorry, we're out of that. Or I'm sorry, we just ran out of, and then the thing that you tried to order. And at that time, you're going to have to change your order to something new. Now, let's say that you're ordering a steak. They're going to ask you, how would you like your steak? Or how would you like your steak cooked? At this time, you're going to have to tell them how you'd like the steak cooked. So either rare, medium rare, well done. So rare is when it's pink inside still. Well done is when it's cooked very, very thoroughly. So after everyone at your table orders, usually the server will ask you, is that everything or is that it? And then you'll either tell them yes, that's it if you're finished ordering, or if you have one more thing you can say, oh, actually, can we get this? If you guys want something as an appetizer that comes before your meal, you need to tell the server at this time. So you can say like, oh, actually, can we get a side of French fries as an appetizer? Another word you can use for appetizer, you can say as a starter. Can I get a side of French fries for a starter? So after you get all of your food, they'll usually ask you, how does everything look? Or let me know if you need anything. Usually in America, waiters will come back every few, maybe 5 to 10 minutes to check on you. If they don't and you see them walking by, you can just say, excuse me. Make sure you don't yell, you don't snap your fingers, you don't wave at them, you don't do anything that, or whistle. You don't want to do anything that's rude. So if they're walking close enough, you can just say, oh, excuse me, and get their attention and then ask for what you need. So if you need, oh, can I get a refill on my drink? Or this isn't what I ordered. Or, this is a bit too salty. Or this isn't cooked correctly. You can tell them at that time. Another question you ask is, could I have blank? So could I have some more wine? Or could I have another jug of water? Could I have, and then the thing that you want more of. So after you're finished eating, the server will usually ask you if you're finished. So they'll say, are you all done with this? Or are you still working on this? And it means, are you finished with eating? If you're finished, you can say yes, and they'll take your plate. Now, after everyone at the table is finished, they're gonna ask you about dessert. So usually they'll ask you something like, can I get you a dessert menu? Or do you guys wanna have some dessert today? If you wanna have dessert, they'll bring you a dessert menu and then you'll order the dessert just like you ordered your meal before. If you don't want any dessert, you can tell them, oh, no thank you, not today, or oh, I'm too full, but thanks. Something like that. After you're finished eating, they can either ask you, would you like your bill? Or are you ready for your check? If they don't ask you this question, you can ask, could I get the bill? Or can I have the check, please? Check and bill have the exact same meaning. So it's the receipt with all of the food that you ordered and drinks and the total amount you owe to the restaurant. So in America, you sit at your table and pay. So they'll bring you a little book that has the paper in it. So you'll either put your card or your cash inside this book and put it on the edge of the table. The server will come back and pick it up and then either run your card or take your cash and give you change, put it back in the book and bring it to you. Let's say you're with a group of friends, you can either say, oh, I'll get this, and it means that you're gonna pay for everything, or I'll take care of it this time. Now let's say you wanna split the bill, you need to tell your server before they bring the bill. Like for example, if they ask you, can I get you guys the bill? You have to ask them, is it okay if we split everything? This is something that you actually want to tell the server before the meal starts. That way they can already have the bill split up. Now keep in mind, some restaurants will charge you an extra fee to split the bill. So let's say there's 5 of you and you want to split the bill 5 ways and you each pay your own for your own meal and your own drinks. They'll sometimes charge you from like $1 to $5 for splitting the bill. Another thing you have to keep in mind when you're ordering food in America is that you have to pay a tip. So if you're at a sit-down restaurant, you want to make sure you're tipping your server. You have to tip them from either 15% to 20% of the total bill. So make sure that you keep that in mind when you're ordering food. If they had really good service, you're going to tip them more. If they didn't have as good a service as you'd like, you can tip them less. But just keep in mind you want to tip them at least around 15%. If you're at a restaurant that's a little more high class, they might include the tip inside the bill. They'll either write it as a service charge or as gratuity. So if you're at a fancier restaurant, you can ask them, is the service charge included or is gratuity included? And usually inside the menu, it'll say at the bottom or at the top, a gratuity of the percent, so like a gratuity of 10% is included in the bill, or a service charge of 15% is included inside the bill. So I hope this was a helpful lesson for you guys. If you guys have any questions or comments, you can post them down below. If you like this video, please subscribe and share with your friends. Also down below is going to be a link to the blog website where all this information will be written down for you guys to print out and put in your files. Also down below is a link to the Instagram where I'll be posting more quizzes and updates about videos coming out. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!